Tongwe do je 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 re zon ro yin je ma do do je bon jam ba sur je lom bo da var je bek shak je je bu je do ngu zon zo do yin jan je de lo na ro da ma ba ma la je je Gampopa pa mo zhe ba je wa no gong ka ju la ma nam je da je ye da nen de ne ce rab tam je da la ma la bo lo ye je zo zon la son yon de jam su nga la wa ten de don jen de ba ge le so zhen xian za wa la ma ji jia go zong do jie xin la do da da ge jie lan fe de da ge de ma dan sun jian jie dong ya jian bon de ba zhen jie la de so 다 저기는 렉트라
which was quite a lot right before we had the break. So he said, so much of the many profound teachings that can be found in the scriptures are actually supported by much of what is taught by scientists today, or much of it can actually even be proven. And so he says he doesn't just say this out of attachment, or out of personal bias, but really, for instance, the practice of Chut, Mache Labdran's Chut, where she really goes into great detail with regard to the physiology of the body, or the makeup of the body, all the bones, naming all of the bones, and not even like all of the tendons and ligaments, and each and every joint. Sometimes Khenpo says, out of curiosity, he explores like medical books or scientific books, and actually does some comparing. And it's really actually quite amazing that, there's a lot that is really supported by science, a lot of what can be found in Buddhist teachings and scriptures. And science, isn't just, it isn't, it's built on observation, direct evidence, or scientific proof. It isn't just, based on blind faith or assumptions. It's really, science itself is really inconceivable. And so, if we think about many of the things that the Buddha taught, which are really extraordinarily detailed and really be extraordinarily insightful, 2,600 years ago, that much of it goes a lot further than what has been, what can be discovered in these times, or what is that the same what kind of is identified or spoken of in modern times. And so, for instance, when it comes to the Buddha's teachings on impermanence, this is really how it actually is, and this is also supported by modern science too. But the Buddha goes much further. And so we shouldn't think, when we hear teachings on impermanence and so forth, sometimes there can be the thought or some doubt thinking, oh, all the time in Buddhism, we take what is good, or we take something nice, and then it has to, it's made into something bad, or kind of like it's, a very pessimistic view. But actually, this is not the case at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. It takes something which is sort of negative in nature or that has kind of a pessimistic kind of nature, and it changes it into something very positive, actually. It becomes something positive through the perspective of the Buddhist view. For instance, everything that is compounded is subject to impermanence, or is the nature of impermanence. The body is impermanent. But what this is actually pointing to is the true essence of the mind, rather than investing so much importance or giving, having a great deal of attachment to what is impermanent and unreliable. It points to that which is really of much deeper meaning, which is the unchanging happiness that can be discovered through realizing the primordial awareness of the mind, the essence of the mind itself. So that's actually what it is pointing, what the truth of impermanence or the teachings on impermanence is actually pointing to. Rather than like being, fixated on something they're very small and sort of comparatively insignificant, then when one really turns one's attention to that which is truly meaningful, then that which has been grasped at as, and given so much significance is realized to be really insignificant or non-consequential. Like a small child, who is distracted by a kind of something very small and insignificant, and that really elevates its importance, to a level that is not really warranted, by the object or the thing itself. And so through the understanding of, for instance, the teachings on impermanence, then there's the means through which we can really come to understand the perfect meaning. And through that understanding of the perfect meaning, there is liberation. One can achieve complete liberation. And so the methods, the Buddha has pointed out the methods or the path to traverse, or the way that he's pointed us or directed us toward understanding our true nature through, really being able to manifest our full potential, which as really understanding the ground basis of our true nature, through which enlightenment is achieved. And so actually he's put the path in our hands. He's actually directly given us the tools or the means by which this can be achieved.
Denita ngapate simchin che dedok tam che lel jongwa imbe lemde mhlbar shipar cha so ta ngaran so jitin dan dinana so yore dan so ndu ta Dela Chorwa Lamnari Kandar Deva Tam Deni Dungar Tetabuke Nabaniki Tony Dangaranso Sonechiki Yobarwa That Deva the Dongani Bote Junkong Rawa the Kanin Jong the Resina Teni Le Jong the Baris Teni tender le te Kare la le de Yuris Shubaina Jo Gewa Drabalatine Teni Drev Deva Jo Megewa Drabalatine Drev Donga Tonight Yonko Bare Then do Tan Kepa Lamnari Hirap Jin Tamji Ki Teni Jola Samno Tang Zuo Teni Juot Tony Gewa Drip Megewa Pangandu Teni Drev Deva Top Deva Tang Teni Shirap Chua Tamjiki David the Mami Pardo, Jula Samna Tangma Shipachi. David the Mi Undu, Teni, Tan David Telepa, and David Dumanda Wajimi, that Tele Tayake, Rewando Chimpochi, Tele Tarmatavaka Dungatana Yunkuyo Bari. They undo Jiktin did not get Netang Mambochi, Lel Rale do Yobatang. Then you late so que sa yung bokapso les zambo yapo jiksa tang le ngimpa jiksa te so que hirap lara le dio paris.
So then the fifth of these things which are to be known, it says, since all pleasures and sufferings of sentient beings arise from karma, the result of actions should be regarded as infallible or non-deceptive. So as long as we exist in the world, we will experience the ongoing feelings or sensations of happiness and pain or suffering, pleasure and pain, or happiness and suffering. And so what is the source of the happiness and suffering? The source is karma. So how does karma work? It is based on cause and it is the karma itself is cause and effect. So when there is a virtuous cause, if one creates a virtuous cause, then in dependence upon that, there is the fruition of happiness. If one creates a non-virtuous cause, the fruition of that, or the result of that, is suffering. And so the wise, those who are wise, or those who have developed a certain amount of wisdom, are mostly focused on the causes. So they give priority or primary importance to causes and less importance to the experience of fruition. And so therefore, there is the constant awareness or mindfulness with regard to practicing or building up virtuous causes, and diminishing or abandoning negativity or non-virtuous causes. Those who lack wisdom are really just kind of focused on experience. They're just focused on fruition. And so in the midst of the ripening of or the fruitional ripening, then they, for instance, if they are experiencing an unpleasant ripening, then they are completely fixated on wanting to get rid of this unpleasant experience. But they don't know how to get free of it. They don't understand how to get rid of it. And so without the understanding that this is really, recognizing that is a result of karma, the karmic causes that have been created, then they never really address the root of the problem. And so to really be to give importance, or to primary importance to the creation of karma, really the recognizing the negative and positive karmic causes that are always being generated, this is a sign of great wisdom. So one is able to do this if there is wisdom present.
Drama chap duman. Yanda gatona ne jejangs. Tesun de carson kubaina. Legim de yore san yichi yobadang. Yana che Tongbani la sobatamje to tawa jungze yoba. O tetabe, tela yanda gatona ne jejang. Yana Tsutram la soba ya bondo chi song ne nepa tela soba. Yanda ko tona ne se ja. Jumde chi timder mishipa song du jumde shiba te timder imba. Timder zon du dan de kapsa. Abidama kosha ke chigdina na yore le chang na cho ni le che song na cho ba ta le te ngarang so chik le sin do chik zamayin ba per na chung chung ke meto ke dama kang chik thola sam na tamwa yin na ya khol ju jin timder mangbo chik cho ne teni ko ke meto tin na ko yep kado teni meto te dutin re yin de trje la ya jo manda ba re yo ba ta te ta ba te la teni jimde ke tinder te ta ba yimdu teni jimde tenda ke tinder te ma shi ba song ro ta jab de mana shi ji ton la mong ba la song de ta ti ton da te jujin tinder te ko meto gang ke chahe re dutin re la ya jo la ra le de yo ba tang tel jo tan de ke ndewa chi tang de ha ma o be song je wa shi zu dom ba yon yang da ka lam jab de song yon yang da ka lam mo de tung ko tol sori se na so so ke dami to ba ke hirap ne lok to ba ke hirap de re de yo wa ta de ke jam ko yo de ngarang so tarade sangha dorji te balani hla la so ba ke meng ta ke yo de la ma to tung ob to ne so so ke ju lo yo ba ke ne lok to ba hirap de garang cha de yo di ta te rang ke chap to ko yo ba yin sang gare che chap re na chap tang te di ha ko to ko yo wa te ha ko ndu teni ta jumde so so ka che tawan tombo juba ya bu yin na yang jumde de hebre char de ni de zo la gare la gulo zisong ji ba dang landur ji ba dang o ta de da yong ge yo wa den da yong za di yong da ge la mo ge jia gui di to ne da jam ko yo wa jap dang de yin zang ma rang zo lem de shi ba de ge ro dang ge lem de ge ro dang cha ye cha wa de zo ha go go ji de be gar chen bo ri
So in Jigten Sumgun's supplication to the seven aspects of Tara, as he says, those who, having dwelt in the true meaning, are unaware of causes and effects interdependence. Therefore, please protect those ignorant of the meaning. Mother Goddess, please protect those ignorant of the meaning of knowable things. And so, as it says, even though they abide in the perfect meaning, or in the true, they have dwelt in the true meaning. So though there may be some aspect of understanding with regard to the ultimate truth or the nature of emptiness, not understanding to the full extent causes the interdependence of karma, cause and effect, or the vast interdependence of karma, cause and effect. And so as in the Abhidhamma Kosha, it says or explains just how pervasive and extraordinary the interdependence on the most sort of refined and subtle level, the display of interdependence or karmic interdependence, causes and effects, is. So for instance, it isn't to be thought of as something, sort of like these solid and coarse causes and conditions and, kind of this simplified way. But actually, it's really so detailed and really beyond comprehension. For instance, in even just a single petal of a flower, there are so many layers of causes and conditions that go into the existence or the arising of that simple single petal. All of the particles, all of the different particles that make up that single petal, all have their specific causes and conditions. Every aspect that goes into creating the flower and the shape and the texture and so forth. And so, as it says in this prayer of Jigten Sumgans, those who are ignorant of of this meaning, or those who don't understand the meaning of knowable things, or that which can be known, referring to this vast, intricate display of karmic interdependence, then if that vast and intricate display of karmic interdependence is understood, if it is clearly and perfectly understood, then each and every cause and condition and its corresponding result, and the interdependent play of all of these, down to every single atom or molecule, would be clearly seen. And so therefore, as it says, omniscient Mother Goddess, please protect those who are ignorant of those knowable things. So what is it that is really providing protection? So the essence of Tara is actually the wisdom of selflessness, the wisdom that realizes the truth of selflessness. So it is with all of the deities. All of the deities who have different names and appear in different forms, they are all actually symbolic of or represent the same thing, which is the true nature of the mind, or the wisdom and pervasive compassion, which is really the inherent as the basic essence of all beings. And so that is what really provides ultimate protection. And so when that view is understood, then there is true protection. And when that view is really understood, then naturally the understanding of karma cause and effect and this karmic interdependence becomes understood naturally to a more and more refined degree. So the result of actually correctly and thoroughly realizing the true nature is that one's understanding of karmic interdependence becomes more and more developed. And the more and more developed that becomes, then likewise there is, within this is like natural, is protection, or the sort of the ultimate level protection. And so to understand, or to understand the subtlety of karma cause and effect is very important, or to understand on a subtle level.
다 소소게 된데 집진 로마테 telanga chokata legend thakhi chawa jumde ke timder ke nete ha course se tikaps chabro chi zerewa ja sondep chi yoro ten jibzen ro mate tang soso ke ne lo to bhirate chikpa res yanga shegete ha ko yoro ste chikpa yamba o tenge chikpa yamba ha ko samna yana Te chipa yimba te yin lok te kandare. Yin lok te. Yin lok te ta lama gewishi ni ngote go yorwa. Lama gewishi ni ngote balatin yin lok te ha go yorwa. Tenda yin za tara je go changba ke sungba rwa. Kongke lama la te semje ngote ro shudu. Semko ngo lama gewishi ni ke semje ngote ende. Oh, nga ti semde nga rang ngi man ha go de das. Yina yang ha go de yu ba de so la ra man tu ba yin zang de ra tu nge de lama gewishi ni jang ta ka din sanje kun la pa ri ya song na kong song do lama gewishi ni de. O te ta ba nga rang zo ke je jim de tim de ke dro dang cha ye cha wa de. Kantar ha kongkin de suso rang la yobarwa suso rang la dinne lo to bhirabde ta te yoba de lama gewikini ga rate ko yore ngote ko yore te ngo thu go je te karchimbo te ngo thu chardu chorang la yoba je ngote ko yore ma to ke chorang la mepa je ngote ko yomare sonza nge la ya te o ngarang la te yoba je ngote so te hira karchimbo ri ma do tin si barwa te ngarang ngi ma ne yosara ne lo to bhirabde te ta ngo ma te na ha ko yomarwa sonza teni ta jumde hakoran yende teni jumde chahin chawala zabzab chene te gu jego res teni te ta hakongkin ke ta te tana bene jumde chahi chawa timde chahi chawa teni zabzab tan lander nang yong yo ba yinza ta te hakoju te karchim bo shuri.
So, as in this prayer, Jetsun Droma or Aryatara then is the one who protects us, or who, by in this case, pointing out the subtlety of karma, cause and effect, or karmic interdependence. So in that case, then Aryatara is the true nature of the mind itself, or she is the wisdom, or the true nature of the wisdom of selflessness, so that they are one and the same. And so the way in which we can understand how they are one and the same is through the pointing out instructions of the spiritual teacher. So, for instance, Je Gotsangpa, upon receiving pointing out of the true nature of mind from his Lama, when he requested pointing out, and upon requesting, received the pointing out, and he thought, oh, this is what I already knew, but I never understood that I knew it until now. And so in this way, when the Tessa Chikba song samgendo and so if one thinks, well, then so through the pointing out, or through receiving pointing out, one becomes aware of that which has actually always been present. So one understands what has always been there all along. And so if we think, it isn't as though there is something new, that we're being introduced to something that didn't exist there before, that now is there. And so if we think, well, then there's no need for introduction if it's actually there, if it's always been there all along. But it has always been there, and yet it has gone unrecognized. And so therefore introduction is necessary. And when this essence, when this nature is really understood, when it is directly seen, one becomes acutely aware of of karma cause and effect and interdependence to at such a subtle and profound level, so that through understanding of the nature of emptiness, then one becomes even more cautious, like extremely cautious, and really attends to karma in like even in the smallest details. And so in this way, it is so important to be aware of karma cause and effect and interdependence at all time, and pay very close attention with regard to what should be practiced and what should be given up.
Tane jatang da lemde tela che yewando sendu le da che zoglo tongchi nyongjur jin nyongjur lenjang yin la nyongjur de so sen yewa mambo song ko yore
Di yaboko ma song kong ta.
ta le la yewando chiu na tene tongchi nyongjur se de da che le tata san tata ndebe mi yomba yore yang len ga he la jiwan di ke cheme ta ba ta lo pe na long ga he jin ra ta hyamang ga he jin ra ta yang jiwa di ji che sema la mi yong ya tendra yore teni yang ga he jiwa mambo jin yang mi yomba tendra yore songjang ko da lemde sejutela kantar yang le jiksa chan zon de le kin debete rang le yimba jik la pha min ro ya yo mare so so rang ki to la min go yore tenda yenza da ngama kanze da de lu la tu song ya ke jumsin ten la cha yung go yore jiwa ngama so so ke je 초수나 야보사 야바이나 데게 데네 다들 룩 돌아양 네 나차뇽와 당 데니 양지 텔라소바게 추게와라소바 드분 튠지 망아드나 용거요레 데니 지와 쳔마들라 타 가반로바테 소소가 다들 락바나나 요레 세타 다타 소소랑게 지록 지당 제글라 레드 요레 송레 데나 인자 다 콜레지움 de sebate naya mala pakran yinche yindu tene ta tene dewa mundung kinche yina legium de la tsong ya bochi gogri te ha ko gogri dewa ndong kinche yina legium de la tsong ya bo nang gogri legium de mala ba yin ba ha ko gogri songre.
So karma ripens in a variety of ways. There are different categories of karmic ripening according to its specific types of causes. So there are those karmic causes which ripen immediately, or they have like immediate ripening. So the fruition of the cause is nearly instantaneous, or there are aspects which those ripenings are immediately experienced, and then there are some which are ripen in such a way that the experience comes later on. It could be later on in this life. It could be, weeks or months or years in the future. It could even be in in the next life, and then there are some karmic causes which ripen, in lifetimes down the road. So in several lifetimes or many lifetimes into the future. However, so even though it may be the case that certain causes might not ripen right away, but they will always eventually ripen. And it is never the case that the karmic causes that have been created by one individual will be experienced as fruition for another individual. So karma always ripens for the person who has created the causes, and this is an infallible reality. And so often it is said, if you wish to know what kind of causes you might have created, or what virtue or non-virtue you may have engaged in your former lives, you only need look at your present body or your present embodiment, the experience of your present embodiment. So by looking at our life, our situation, or our conditions in this life, then we can know, how much merit we might have gathered in the past, in past lives, and whether we practiced virtue. If now in this lifetime we have relatively little suffering of illness and physical and mental pain, and if our conditions are really such that they're really conducive to practicing Dharma and accumulating greater virtue, then this is a sign that there were really virtuous causes that were created in the past. Likewise, it is said, if you wonder where you will be in your next life, or what your situation will be in the next life, you only need look at the present causes that you are creating now. So the outcome of a future life, or the ripening of future lives, is actually in one's own hands at the present moment. And so karma, cause and effect is infallible. It is undeceptive in its functioning and the way in which causes ripen according to the result. And so in order to really secure the outcomes that we wish for, which is we wish happiness and we wish to be free from suffering, then it is really crucial to understand that karma, cause and effect is truly infallible.
Tapena Churan Nepa Jew Yimbo the Chebaina Churan la Churan can Natsa de Hako Yuri. Then Churan Natsa de Juya mean the Minkang la Yore. Churan la mean the Nyozi ge Becha Murkang na Yore Churan la Yore. Tunji Mambon Zomswan. In a Churan Kati mean the Churan the top Toko Yomaris. Churan the mean the top matane. Me you top matabalatine. Churan Natsa take a drone to Watanda Yunga Yorba. Then there lays that data, that did let Churan Le Caressa Sabalatin Jumari. Churan Le Yapu Mambosa Yori, Gains Natural and Minyo Jigungu Yori, the Churan Le Jimbala Sobatam Benjeveri. Then it Minkan and Tichuran and Goyak and Natsat Goyak mean the Noya Yori, Te Tamjian, Churan Gale Sabalatin, Churan Timin, you devari Churan Sachatinana, Lombatinana, you devarit. In a Churan meet the top matamnit, didn't Churan Tondo at the young legics about in Sumara. That and I was some dongle lame, they tower with some town. They pay.
For instance, if it is the case that maybe perhaps you are sick, and to understand just how many karmic causes and conditions are at play with regard to the situation of being sick. So for instance, if you are sick, And the good news is that there is medicine that can cure you of this sickness. And even better news is that this medicine is available. They actually have it, in the hospital. And even also good news is the fact that you have the money to buy the medicine. You have the means to get the medicine. But say all of those conditions are present, but there's some reason why you can't actually get a hold of it. You're not able to get the medicine. And as long as you're not able to get the medicine, then you're not able to cure the illness. And so all of these aspects are based on karma, cause, and fruition. And so the fact that there is medicine that can cure you is the ripening of some particular favorable causes. The fact that you have the money that you can spend, that you're able to afford the medicine, is also the result of karmic causes. The causes of, for instance, having practiced generosity in former lives. So you have created or gathered the karmic causes for a number of favorable to create a number of favorable conditions or outcomes that play into this situation of being ill and needing to get a hold of the medicine. Yet ultimately, you are not able to get the medicine, and so you are not able to recover, and perhaps you die. And so this is also because of karmic causes that were created in the past. And so in this way, it's just an example to express, how kind of complex the karmic interdependence is in any given situation.
다 렘데 차와라 데테다버라 인다제 레 소소게 야보 망보 제요레데 양 초진데 충충 네당 찍돌라 저랑 그 잡잡 마제 발티네 양 레바 대랑 차도 바다 다르페 데타버리 다른 페 지긴 바제 휴바이나 단 잠블랭드는 동반 지휴제 당고다 람나 데네 초랑게
안데
Zambelang pe rida pe Zambelang dinani ma dongban zihu che damgoda lamna ta churang tinani churang ke ka na mek tang chama lenzibo yoris yin yang churang ke ta dongba gangla che kyung chung chung che yoba la tine yang churang Zambelang de gani 지휴나는 마치바 연거라와 다 드나는 렘데 데베타 데타고 그 페린다 렘데 차발라 자고에 준시티네 차은거라 다마도 렘데 라포라바 탄제 참에제 하고 되반다 오 야보 진네 야보 연거리 도보 연거리세 참에 히게 요레라 하고 요레 대장게 안당케 요마레 만당 라야테 콜렘데 그 차와데 차히 차와데 그 루동케 요마레
So for instance, in this example of not being, the final outcome, having all of these conditions present that are favorable, but then the final outcome is one that is not favorable. It kind of goes to show, say, for instance, you may have created a lot of virtuous causes in the past, but because you weren't cautious, of one or heedful with regard to like one kind of seemingly insignificant thing that then built in its sort of karmic momentum. And then finally, there was this final result of, not being able to get a hold of the medicine. And so to give you another example like this, say you have a lot of really beautiful features on your face that are so beautiful that you really easily could have been the most beautiful person in the world. But there's one like little, every feature, your nose, your eyes, your mouth, every feature is just exquisite. But then there's like one little flaw. There's one flaw on the face, and that then causes you to not be the most beautiful person in the world, just due to this one little flaw. And so this is another example of a similar such thing. So really, this kind of shows these subtle aspects of kind of the subtlety of karma, cause, and effect. But then there's also, the coarse expression of karma, cause, and effect, which is very easy to know and see and understand. So, for instance, if you do something good, then good things will come. If you do something bad, then bad things will come. But it's also, it's important to pay attention to the details, because it is in these small details that subtle causes that subtle causes are created. And likewise, there's always their ripening and the sort of intricate result of the ripening of all of these intricate subtle causes is experienced in an ongoing way.
다들 찍 요림마 참아 도바사사지. 대가리리스나. 머지가 빼링로 머지가 빼링 그런 소게. 어때마데 레가 독자 자와 독자 쉬우제성 이나 코랑 산동 휴은 रखुनो 코랑 가레고나 रखुनो 대가리리스. 레짐데 요나. ताती mambo yongko andola mambo la tito ba de yore kabaina tito te kare jumsin kare sna ma te ke yang jewa ngama tang jewa ngama kanon tang yang man chen de chetu rawla koron le zambo ju sa yare te tara rebe yong yala ti le de kola ming ge yore te ming pa kapso sanje ke ya te mi ba zo thokoi marda sanje ke te le te mi ba zo go cha chen zo thokoi yomare 가능성 코로나 레 맞에 바담 메체 세바 레 제바데 추 마자송도 데인드 산지 기장티 레트 미바 조트 말거 조 산나야 데나 데 콜레 답데 테르와 콜레 데나 돈 산나 땅거마도 다오코 레가 독자지 힌도 데니 콜 독자 메용 바카레스 저 셈라 고고 마레 코 다라 독자 지후는 콜티 ken 레베트 미발라 태첨이 바리 코랑게 양의 샥바제 제 요라 히웨제 땅와이나 다고 다야 제고 디바게 용티데 디바 다야 데 리마도게 초랑가 믹사 셈라 고마 초랑 셈차르 제데는 티 셈차르 테 코랑 메게 바리 티니 티 셈차르 테 코랑 티 메게 바데 코랑 민가 마레 티니 셈차르 제바게 코랑 레 코랑 독자제 인 용고 테콜 카리치 용가 마레 사만도스 티티 삼데네 티 삼노 근데베 또 소소를 철미 용거라와
So also some of you may give rise to doubt, thinking, yeah, but there are all of these people who do really terrible things, and yet things always seem to go their way. They always seem to be able to accomplish what they intend, and things seem to really work out in their favor. So why is that? And this is true. There are many people for whom this is the case, and likewise, there are a lot of people who give rise to doubt with regard to karma because of this. But the reason why that may be the case in many circumstances is because that individual has certainly then created causes of like virtuous or favorable causes in some form or another, either in this life or in former lives. And so the stream of sort of things working out in favor, they're riding like a positive, a stream of positive karmic ripening. And that is why things seem to work out for them, or things go in their favor or work in their favor, because that whatever positive karma that was happens to be ripening at this time. And it will continue to ripen until it is exhausted, until that particular karmic stream is exhausted. And there is no one who can prevent it from ripening, not even the Buddha. The Buddha cannot prevent karmic ripening when the causes are present, when the causes have been created. And so that is, we'll think, wow, this individual is really so bad, so terrible. Why are they not experiencing some karmic retribution? But again, so if they are creating negative karmic causes presently, then you need not have any doubt about the fact that the fruition will ripen, that they will reap the fruits of the causes that they have created, that they will experience their ripening or fruition. There need not be any doubt about that. Unless that individual really develops a sense of regret and engages in a vast amount of purification and confession. If they confess their negativities and purify their obscurations, but without that, then there will, at some point, most definitely be the ripening of the negative causes, and that will be experienced through suffering. And so you need not to be worried. In fact, you should not be worried. That should not cause you to be worried, like, you should not want that person to suffer as a result of their bad actions. The only thing that does is it actually becomes a negative karmic cause that is created for you, and then eventually you will have to experience the ripening of that wish that is tainted by ill will. And so it is important not to wish the karmic ripening of suffering on any individual.
Tata lemre te malaba yamba ha quality ne yang tata kangaran so jutso ke nani yang soso la pinto chimbo yore simkang kutola pinto yoba de ganri chuba ina ta soso la che nacha la soba ta yamna jopamjo la soba ka pong sumba ke ta yamna tropo la soba tropo 조보 조모라서 봐다 달송하다 저게 동아 mambo 용거 요ren 삼사 디갑서 레리 삼야 그 삼노된 코르타바이나 삼노 코랑게 나랑서 남준 삼노 동당 나고 요로와 이나 삼노 코랑게 삼노텔 주주당드 데니 소소 생칸텔라 마수른 로야 핀도 쳔보 요리 참상 나랑서로 셈낭라 강아 쳔보디 곰자 tanda chinkin doa teni yinda ktone che semkhan rekpa tanda ktola trawa tlin chia ta tanda ktone mambo nang doa re kanla kandur tela te tomba sumba na yin ki chi soso ke khamang khamda wangbo tanda tube ke kanla kamping ke tapla mambo yore des teni tata teang soso sem ktone sam tondang ktone o tan de ngarang ke lesa yaba chi injury si Ganze 동희바 대가 휴핑크 요리 디 강나 데니 나랑서 동리 요라 동리 장초선 밖에 냠리 다든다 제바야 오 당알라 다다 대답은 만보지 종송시 단데 로아 심진 탐제 란데 답은 만보 중그 요리 대 탐제 달 멤버 쇼 다다게 나 다게 강아다 동한 대게 and this yin simjin tamje la dong ma wa chong de wa tamje ke ko chu hyo sam ne tani lot of jin ta tan rak sam no tang de ran yin ke su su sam no de nang kha tar de ja che ren ro tani jam cho tan ting tar de ting sab ren ro ne tani ta de hi je su su la sem ba bu su to bo da ka nga yo ba de so le tar to ba Tendra chung ko yoro, tendra chung du dani da kung kung cha de yoro wa, ten de lemde la ya de la sam no tang ne lemde di to ne landur chi taba yin na chen de la yang pin do chen bo yo ba tang, teni je wa sema la ta ko sanje ge ju cha de yoro wa da jumre zo ji de.
Ha kung ta tani de Kashe gom gyana tani lolo chagare tani kashe gareche gare simson telescope.
Simkam rek ba la.
There's loud noise. One second. Simkam.
Simkam rek ba yoro wa. Psychology. Simkam rek ba ke tendra ke.
Simkam rupala.
Pena lobra to ka khela ti lob sem ko to lob so jam do at kol kar la counselor la marbe pu to so la sem la kangan the ndu yang ko labja jang kin do counselor ne chik la routines ta ji kantar sem la kanga yu lob so jang kin do ta su to ni yang koran so la pink yo re ta lan ta tin tin na pin to yong ba yu ba yong ko yo re yang ga he so sa no to na
Just the catch a shayala. So in any case, it is really important to come to the point where one really is certain with respect to the infallibility of karma cause and effect. And when one is, and this will really bring a lot of benefit to oneself, one's own internal experience is greatly benefited by this understanding. So, for instance, if one is afflicted by suffering of any kind or illness, if one has suddenly lost a great deal of wealth or possessions, if one has separated from a loved one, or from one has lost a loved one, or is separated from a one's boyfriend or girlfriend, if someone has broken up, then often there's a lot of suffering that arises in the mind. And so one can change one's attitude or one's perception by reflecting upon karma and really accepting whatever the present situation is, by accepting it, understanding that it is the ripening of past causes that surely have been created, actually, either in this life or in former lives. And just merely that understanding helps quite a lot to lessen the burden of the suffering, or it brings in a little bit of relief. And of course, everybody has a different mental dispositions in such a way that different kind of antidotes or different methods can be applied and work differently for different individuals. So, for instance, some find it most useful to reflect in this way through meditation. So, for instance, through meditation in the midst of a crisis or some great hardship or difficulty, if one meditates, then one becomes relaxed and is able to feel some relief. For others, it might be more beneficial to to talk it out, to receive some guidance, for instance, like from a counselor or, for instance, in school, they often have, counselors who will help people to, to relate with what is happening in such a way that it eases some of their pain or their hardship or difficulty. So it is tinda dore ti nor song okay. Or also, for instance, nor song you mare.
Pajana samari hirangat.
Okay, that's all. So also for instance, to practice Tonglen, the practice of giving and taking in such a way that when whatever the hardship or difficulty, to think all sentient beings suffer in this way. All sentient beings are afflicted by a great hardship and difficulty. And right now, through the difficulty that I'm currently experiencing, through this present pain of mine, may this take the place of the suffering and hardship of sentient beings. May no sentient being have to suffer in this way. And so in that way, one can actually bring one's pain or relate with one's pain in such a way that it really becomes a powerful means for accumulating virtue. Actually, it becomes really vast. The virtue, when one practices in that way, it really is vast. The virtue becomes vast as space and as profound as the very depths of the ocean. And so we really can understand, through our understanding of karma, cause, and effect, we can relate with whatever our situation with whatever the situation is in a really useful and productive way, so that it actually becomes the cause for generating positivity or positive or virtuous karma. Whatever the situation, whether it is a favorable or unfavorable current ripening. And it can become, it will not only, by relating to it in that way, not only will it become of benefit, or not only will it be a benefit to us in this life, but it also can go towards, become the cause for achieving Buddhahood in future lives.
Lamnari toba lana che yoretate jin hyu sani hyu ya timba majina timba jisuna lero
Gong ta ya ko kuma song che
le jimde galatwa che yore twa la da yang toba no tate sani hyu jin hyu ya timba majina nga timba jisuna da lero wazune
ya la so. So Kimbola says, so actually there's one question, another question that arises with regard to, or in the context of karma, cause, and effect, or one doubt that can arise. And Kimbola says he will address this next time if he doesn't forget. If he does forget, then that's karma.
May every being ailing with disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Jambar bave jodon jamba dang kunda zamba te an te yen. Te dai gunje jizo dalo je gewain de dai damje rabde ngo simjin ne ba jenye ba nyurde ne la tarje roven ne na male ba da de jo ma me ba jo ba ma simjin damje de dan den jer jen lin ro damje da de dong war Chanjo zamba ganda sajo ba te da kunje ma la zhe ba jo Chanjo zenjo rambo je ma ji ba na je je Thank you very much.